resultant impact, and in India the onset of the liberalization policies and neoliberal policies which are implemented. So we felt that this is the period from which we should begin the review of our political line. And our focus in the review is the independent growth of the CPI and also how far we have been able to advance towards forging an alliance of all the left and democratic forces. Since the report is available, I don't want to go into further details. The discussion began this morning and 14 delegates have participated in the discussion. I think the names have been provided here of those who spoke so far. We are planning to continue the discussion and finish it tonight. However late it is, probably by 9 p.m. or so, we will complete the discussions today. So far the discussions are good, they are critical, they are looking at the report and seeing what needs to be done to strengthen the CPIM in the future, what steps should be taken, and I think that after tomorrow's discussions, today's discussions, tomorrow in the morning session itself, we will be able to conclude this and adopt the review report, which will lay the basis for the draft political resolution, that is the future political line of the party, that will be taken up for discussion. As I said, this review report has been undertaken because of the concern that our party has not grown sufficiently in this period. The CPIM is the largest left party in the country. We have 10.5 lakh party members, and our party members are working in various class and mass organizations which encompass nearly 6 crore people. But this is concentrated in 3 states and some other pockets. So the main discussion is, the review is to see what needs to be done. What are the corrections we need to make in our political tactical line, which will help us to advance as an all India party. That is the main focus of this. Apart from that, the Congress today adopted 2 resolutions. One is the resolution against the infamous land acquisition ordinance of the Modi government, which is more appropriately titled as the land grab bill. And the second is, in the occasion of the 125th anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, which we observed yesterday, the beginning of this anniversary, the Congress has adopted a resolution asking for a special session of Parliament. As far as the land acquisition bill is concerned, or ordinance, all the explanations given by the Modi government and the Prime Minister himself are totally deceptive and trying to cover up the fact that this is a anti-farmer ordinance at the behest of the corporates and big business of our country. Even the amendments they have now adopted in the bill, which is repromulgated as an ordinance, as you know, do not really meet the basic objections of the entire opposition in Parliament. One is consent of the farmers. They have done away with the requirement of consent of 70 to 80% of the landowners, exempting certain categories from the requirement of consent. PPP projects, infrastructure projects, etc. PPP means private-public partnership, in which, again, there will be projects in which land will be acquired in the name of the PPP by the government, and then consent is not required in such cases of the farmers, the 70 or 80% consent, which was there in the earlier law, the 2013 law. Secondly, the social impact assessment is done away for various categories. And thirdly, as is well known now, where there's an industrial corridor or highways or railway lines, 1 kilometer across this corridor, land can be acquired, 1 kilometer on both sides, which means large tracts of agricultural land can be taken away. So all these objections remain. So far, the opposition has unitedly fought against this bill in Parliament, and outside Parliament there is a widespread now struggle or agitation against this ordinance. This resolution has called for the intensification of the opposition and resistance to this ordinance and the bill, and we demand the outright withdrawal of this bill. And the second resolution, keeping in mind the birth centenary of Dr. Ambedkar and the fact that all the major political parties in the country have pledged to observe this anniversary, we think it is appropriate that there should be a special session of Parliament to really examine or go into the fact that after 6.5 decades of the ordinance, of the Constitution being promulgated, what is the present status of the scheduled castes in our country? What has been really done to abolish untouchability, caste discrimination? Why is it that manual scavenging, despite laws, have not been done away with? Why is it that reservation in various sectors and posts for the SC and STs are not being fulfilled, and so on? So it will be appropriate to really, if those who are saying that they are pledged themselves to follow the ideals of Dr. Ambedkar and uphold the values of the Constitution, we feel a special session of Parliament on these matters should be held, and that will be a more appropriate way of paying our tributes to the architect of the Indian Constitution. That's all I have to report as of now. What we call technical improvement of the language, grammar, improving or strengthening the existing content of the report. That is, it addresses different views, may not accept some of the formulations in the report, but the Congress has not accepted any of those, the several amendments. Now the next stage would be that during this discussion, we have to accept any of those amendments. So only after that we'll adopt the report.
You talked about left and democratic alternative before the elections. Before that night, you talked about left and democratic alternative. Now in this conference also you are...
Clarify that, you see, that this alternative is not for elections. So we didn't give any such slogan in the... What we are actually reviewing now.
Keep repeating the same, left and democratic suffering a series of electoral defeats.
Well, it's nothing to do with the election. In fact, we have the left and democratic front that we want to build is nothing to do with alliance with political parties for elections. We have made it very clear. It's the forces which we want to gather who can oppose the present bourgeois system and present an alternative to that, the policies. There's nothing to do with elections at all. Our failure, which we are worried about, is why we are not able to gather these forces and create such an alternative. It may reflect sometime in election, but it has nothing to do with the electoral. Election time, we give different slogans. Last election, we gave a slogan to defeat the Congress and isolate the BJP. And we projected a secular alternative, secular democratic alternative. We didn't talk about a left and democratic front. We knew that is, yes, that's true. No, earlier we have succeeded. In 2004, we gave the slogan, defeat the BJP, the NDA, and create a secular government. We succeeded. Earlier in 1989, we said defeat the Congress. In that election, we succeeded. So electoral, election battle, what slogan we give at that time, is purely connected with that election and the political tactics we pursue for that. This is a more fundamental thing that we want, as against all these parties, the Congress, the BJP, and all the other bourgeois parties. We want to create a left and democratic alternative, which consists of mobilizing workers, peasants, agricultural workers, other sections of the working people, so that we create a powerful alternative force. It is not strictly only connected with elections.
Mr. Karat, now the feeling within the party, it seems that CPM or the left forces, because they have been aligning with the secular forces at various states at the election level, your party base has sort of eroded. Now, I just wanted to ask, by saying that you are talking about the independent growth, are you closing doors to such kind of alliance post-election, or are you going to think about it when the situation comes?
I think the review report spells this out very clearly. The word secular generally refers to those parties which are the non-left parties, which we call the secular bourgeois parties. And mainly they are the regional parties in our country. We have made an assessment that trying to build a national alliance with them for a third alternative was not correct. We have come to the conclusion, and we have said we are giving it up. We gave it up in the last Congress, but now we have put the seal that there should be no such projection of a third alternative, because such an alternative is not only not feasible, and it's not going to be an alternative. Because these parties, their policies and programs cannot be the alternative to the Congress and the BJP, essentially. So it's a different matter that we may cooperate with these parties on issues, say fight against communalism, or any other issues which come up. We may cooperate with them, we may have joint movements and struggles with them. It is possible that in some particular state we may have an electoral alliance with this party at a particular juncture, but there's going to be no national level alliance projected as an alternative with these parties.
So in the case of, do you see another situation where in the UPA, like in the UPA 1, where you have to stop the communal forces, you had to support a Congress-led government? Do you think such situations...
that each situation is different. That situation doesn't exist now. You see, we are saying we will not project any alliance at the national level with such parties unless over a period of time through struggles and movements, those forces have also come together with us on a common set of program and policies, which will be totally different from the policies and programs which are being pursued by the central government and many of the state governments today. But that's for the future. We'll clarify that in our political resolution.
With no understanding your alliance with the Congress, will that be applicable in the case of Rajya Sabha seats also?
Sorry?
No understanding your alliance with the Congress, will the same principle be applicable in the case of Rajya Sabha seats also? We have seen even in Andhra you taking the support of Congress.
Wait, there's nothing, that's all the past. We are talking about an alliance means what? No, no, we are talking about a political alliance. That has been our stand earlier also. There's nothing new about it.
Comrade,
Huh. Somebody has
this,
talked. Yes.
comrade,
Who's talking?
Working? You claim to have defeated, the BJP in 2004 and prior to that in '89, but you on your own are incapable, seem to be incapable of winning elections. Are you planning to do something about it? The first and foremost, you need to increase your membership base, and the BJP, as well as the TDP here in Andhra Pradesh, have gone on a massive membership drive. Is your party planning to do something like that here?
No, no, we don't make membership like that. By making SMSs or by
No, but you
placing
need, but you,
missing
but you
calls.
need
One
to
of my
increase
central
the-
committee
but you
members has
need to
been
increase
enrolled
your
as a
membership
BJP
base.
member. He has
Because
sent a complaint
you
to the
people
election
can't sit
commission.
forever in the Rajya Sabha, right? You need to win a few more seats in the
No,
Lok
no,
Sabha.
building the
As
Communist
well.
Party, how we'll expand, is something we don't do it on the way the Congress or the BJP
But then how do you
does.
plan to do it?
Well, we have done it. Where we have done it, we have seen. You
But
see in West
I
Bengal,
mean,
Kerala, Tripura, we win elections also,
Maybe
but we do not, our
one or two
party
states in the
membership is
Northeast,
lesser, much
West
less.
Bengal and Kerala
Let
are
me
not
just
going to make.
finish. Our party membership is 1/5 or 1/10 of the Congress in Kerala, but we still win elections. We don't build a party in the way they build the party. So that you cannot compare.
comrade, here. After the 10th party congress also, you raised the same slogan of LDF. After 37 years, you are saying the same LDF is possible. Is it viable in Indian situation?
50 years ago, we raised the slogan of socialism. And 100 years ago also the communists talked about socialism. That's not the issue. What we mean, please try to understand what we mean by a left and democratic front. It means on a basis of a program which is totally different from the program and policies of parties which are committed to capitalism and building a capitalist society. That is the basis of the left and democratic program. So that will remain. As long as we are communists, that will remain. How do we go about it? How do we accomplish it? What tactics we adopt for that? That is the issue for us.
You say regional level understandings can be made with the political parties, bourgeois political parties. In Kerala, there are parties like Muslim League, Kerala Congress,
Please
etc.
don't, please try to read the review report. All we are saying is, we have been trying, we had a specific tactic or plan to build an alliance at the All India level, which was called the third alternative, which we have coined in 1998. And till 2008, we have tried to build such an All India alliance. And we have explained that this alliance is not feasible, and the reasons for that we have given. As an alternative, they cannot be an alternative. It is not some electoral adjustment with some party. It is a question of having a program which we call as an alternative. So that aspect we have reviewed and said it's not possible to build an alternative of that sort. But what we want to build in its place, we are coming to that later.
Comrade, my question was, in Kerala, there are parties like Muslim League, Kerala Congress, etc. When you say about regional understanding, that can be possible in some elections. Can such parties also come to LDF
Well,
or
it differs
cooperate
from
with LDF?
state to state. There is no Muslim League in most states in India. And as far as the CPIM is concerned, our stand in Kerala about the Muslim League, everybody knows. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Prakash, how you are reviewing 25 years of political tactical line?
Yeah.
Yes.
But how do you review or look back to your tenure as General Secretary in the last 10 years?
Unfortunately, that's not on the agenda of the party congress.
But how do you look back on yourself?
Huh?
How do you look back to your tenure?
Well, I don't look back at my tenure. I look back at the party's program or line and how it is implemented and how it is being reviewed. That is the only question which can be discussed in a party congress. we don't discuss individual leaders' performances or work in a party congress.
My question is, in relation to last general elections, as your political resolution was acknowledged, why the BJP, not your party and left front, was able to pull advantage of this popular opposition of the workers and poor against the Congress-led government economic and political, economic and other policies. Why the BJP was able to take the advantage, not left parties, including your party?
Well, everybody knows in this country politics is dominated by parties which have the support of the big business and big capitalists in this country. Everybody knows that. So we know that by and large, when Congress gets discredited in the people, the advantage is taken by the BJP and whoever allies with them. And when the BJP gets discredited, it goes to the advantage of Congress. So far, we have not been able to break this paradigm.
Wasn't it because of
So we have, our effort has been, that is what the review is talking about. Our effort has been to build the so-called third alternative, which I talked about. And we have found that the way we wanted to build that third alternative, that is not feasible.
Mr. Karat,
was it not because of,
are you trying to say that at the national level you are not going to attempt a third alternative formation because you know the economic policies you don't see eye to eye, you are not on the same page with most of the secular forces that with whom you have in the past formed third front coalitions. So, but at the same time you are saying that at the state level, whether it's Kerala, whether it's West Bengal, whether it's maybe Bihar, UP, you are going to continue with this smaller tactical alliances.
Yes.
Are you saying that?
We have not been able to build a third alternative. We don't claim we have built one.
Yeah.
Election tactics is different. We have been, what we talked about as a third alternative was based on a common program. And in no election have we talked about building such an alternative. It has nothing to do with the election as such. We are saying instead of a third alternative, we'll work for a left and democratic alternative. Though that is more difficult in the present situation, we feel there's no other way but to build a left and democratic alternative. And as far as our party's electoral tactics are concerned, where we feel it will help us to advance our party's interests within the framework of our political line. Obviously, we won't ally with the BJP or Congress or many of these other parties. We will see election to election in states whether it's necessary for us to have any electoral understanding with some party. But we will not build an alliance or front at the national level with most of these parties at present. But when a change comes, when our strength increases, when we are able to bring some of these forces to agree with our common program, then we will consider that. But at present, that is not there. Well, because this document, this thing will be adopted by the party tomorrow, I cannot preempt that. But what we have said in the draft is parties like the Telugu Desam, parties like the Biju Janata Dal, parties like the AIDMK, we do not think we can build a national alternative with these parties. Period. That's all. Thank you.
Prakash, one question here.
You wait for the next, because I cannot say everything which is not yet completely discussed in the party.
Prakash, one question
There will be
here.
another 3 days, you will be able to get the opportunity.
Prakash, one question here, Prakash. With second day of the party congress today, is there the possibility of Sitaram becoming general secretary has increased?
On the 5th day, you ask us this question, we'll answer you. No.
Comrade,
I mean, whatever we have said in the draft stands. There's no change.
Comrade, let me ask
you
one
are
question.
saying about, Comrade, you are saying about flexible alliance in the PTL. Could you elaborate what is you are saying about flexible alliances in the PTL. Could you elaborate what it is?
That is, we are saying, while we are ruling out an alternative built with all these parties, what we are saying is we must keep in mind that no political party is static. Political parties change, there are splits, new parties are formed, there can be divisions. We have to adopt flexible tactics in the sense when such developments take place, we have to adopt such tactics where we may change our stand regarding those parties. Suppose there's a split in a party. It has happened earlier also.
No, Prakash, you have Prakash.
No, we are not, I told you, we are not talking about bringing some parties together for an election alliance. The Left and Democratic, yes. All those parties and forces which are willing to come together to work, to struggle and conduct movements on the program which we are setting out, they'll all be welcome to join that. There'll be no bar on that. No, it will depend on who will come for the movement and struggles. You see, the whole thing is you're starting with you're putting the cart before who will come for election is not the issue for us. Who will willing to come on these, on workers' rights, on farmers' issue, on Dalit issues, Adivasi issues, we have given a program. Who will come with that, we have no problem, we'll go with anyone.
Prakash, your party has invited 5 parties at the house.
You have passed a resolution on the Dalit issue.
Who?
No, you have passed a resolution on this Ambedkar.
No, there's going to be more different
No, I'm just asking you. How many, in the last 50 years, how many Dalits have become members of your CC and the Politburo? And how are you going to fight caste discrimination, Dalit discrimination in your party?
Please ask this question or look, just when the election of the Central Committee is over, then I'll answer the question. Central Committee, you asked me, I can give you the statistics. Politburo, yes, there's no one. Why? There has been members of the minority. Yes, I'll give you the figures. And what I'm saying is you please wait for our new Central Committee and Politburo. Then you can make the criticism or the critique of that.
I have a question on the left unity. Your party has invited 5 parties this time, not only from the left front parties, but also relatively small leftist parties, 2 parties this time. Yeah. So, without any, my question is, how did you choose the 2 parties? Was there any criteria or threshold or something to choosing your parties? Yes.
Well, the parties, the left parties which were invited to attend our party congress were chosen on the basis of our working together. Those parties which have agreed to have united activities or united actions. So earlier there were 4 parties. In the last 6 months or so, we have also brought these 2 parties together because they have also agreed to come for joint actions on various issues. So that is the basis on which we call them. I think in the next few months you'll see some more left groups and parties joining this platform.
Mr. Karat, I have 2 questions. Hello.
Sorry? Broadly, I can say that the discussion, the 14 delegates who spoke have broadly supported the main direction and of the review. You see, some have, of course, a few have said that it is rather delayed. though it is good that has happened, you could have done this review earlier. You see. Because we are talking about 25 years, so you could have done this review earlier. That point of criticism came, but they said it's better late than never that the review has been done. It should have been done earlier. But broadly, they agree with the main critique in the document. Okay, thank you.
I have two questions, comrade.
Tomorrow you will get, day after, there's so many charges. Huh?
One is, you alone formulated the struggle program or in consultation with the other co-parties.
Sorry?
The programs, struggle, agitations.
No, left parties, we have met and discussed, agreed that in future, on all issues we agree we'll have joint programs. It's not only now one issue. We have agreed for united actions, I said.
That is in consultation with the other parties also.
Yes. And it's not one issue alone. In future there will be many issues.
One more, sir. Pertaining to land bill, Government of India is saying that states have option to choose the 2013 bill or the latest bill. What do you say?
No, there will be no such. Once this bill is passed, you cannot have,
Couple of days back,
you cannot have 2013 law will be overturned.
Mr. Venkaiah Naidu has said,
He is talking about some specific clauses, not the law as such.
he said it, that's why.
See that paragraph on flexibility. It's flexibility when parties split, new parties are formed, divisions happen, then we will be flexible.
Prakash.
Please.
Negative.